Hello, and thank you for tuning in to the RHOBH Report. We're going to dive right into it. We've got a little tweak to the format today. We're going to concentrate on Beverly Hills. And it's not mid-season. Is it mid-season? I'll call it a mid-season little breakdown of what we're seeing. Whoopsie, I just knocked the camera. Get back here. Won't. And, before I do, let me just say, if you are tuning in today and you want to be notified every time we do an RHOBH report, please hit the subscribe button. If you would hit the subscribe button, this way YouTube knows that this is something you're interested in, and it shows up on your feed as a suggested video next time for you to watch. So hit that subscribe button. It doesn't cost anything, and helps me out with the analytics with the YouTubian overlords. So thank you so much. Let's dive right into it. We're going to start out by concentrating on Kyle and what I've seen, what I think I'm seeing so far this year. And I gotta say, I wonder, does anybody believe Kyle anymore? The more I'm watching it, the less I think I'm seeing authentic drama in her life. Actually, there was one point in this past episode. They're on Wednesday nights, right? Are they on Tuesday nights now? Wednesday nights? Well, let me go back. I've always said that to me, it is really not very believable that a 55-year-old Beverly Hills insider, a child star, worth millions, been living in this she world her whole life. And they're strivers. She's a striver too. Her mother was a striver. Her oldest sister married extremely well into the Hilton family. And, Kyle's always wanted to live up to that, or to be even better. These are things that are important in Kyle's life. Am I to believe all of a sudden this 55-year-old Beverly Hills insider has got something in common with a 20-something from the hollers of Virginia? A tatted up 20-something? Come on. I just never bought it. I don't see it. The few times we've seen them together on camera, it just, I don't see any connection there. So I've never really bought that, or I had a hard time buying it. I've got something written down here. Can you imagine their conversations? And now she's whining. And now she's the one who pushed Mauricio away, pushed him away, went through her getting tattoo phase and, brandishing it in Mauricio's face. See, I did what I wanted to do. I've been watching the show since day dot. I have never seen Mauricio be heavy-handed with her. So I don't know why she's trying to make us, the audience, believe that she is rebelling against Mauricio by getting a tattoo. Well, that's over the past last year. And I'll be honest with you, looking at this latest episode, let me get my little notes in front of me. Looking at this latest episode, I was struck by the thought, because I see her flirting girlishly. Mauricio shows up the house. Meanwhile, Mauricio looks 20 years younger than he did the last time I saw him. I think he had been on a couple of weeks Dancing with the Stars, so he was old honed up. He looked good. I think he either got the gray out of his hair, or maybe he colored the gray in his hair. But he looks great. And she is flirting girlishly with him. And he's kind of perplexed by this coquettish little act that she's put on. And us, the viewer, know that she's the one that kind of forced Mauricio. Mauricio didn't want this separation. He didn't want to tell the children. He thought that this was something they could resolve. And all of last year, this is what we saw from Mauricio. you know, wanting his wife back, wanting things back to normal, wanting her to work out whatever she had to work out, and then let's come back to the fold. But no, she wasn't having it. Well, now this whole performance that she's putting on with him, I say to myself, oh my God, if this was an act, and both of them would have to be in on it for it to be an act. If this is an act that we're going to end the season with a will they or won't they get back together scenario and have them eventually get back together, boy oh boy, I think who's the name, Baskin, is that the name of the producer? That's Kyle's boy. I gotta think both of them should be shown the door, because ugh, that is one creepy, that's a nasty little thing. I should hope not. I mean, the tears of the daughters when they told the daughters were very sincere. But what is this act now, Kyle? This, being sad and whining about the fact that Mauricio's moved out of the house. It's what you wanted. That's what you worked to happen, and you pushed him out. So why are you actually asking us for sympathy? I don't get it. Um, the other thing I want to say about her is those cowboy hats she wears. She looks ridiculous. I can't stand them. So anyway, next we're going to go on to our girl, Sutton. Good old Sutton. I'll read you what I wrote here. I would personally like to confront the idiot who told Sutton she was smart, stylish, and lots of fun. I promise you that whoever did that is on her payroll or somehow makes commission off of her, because she's none of those things. She's just not one of my favorites, and I don't buy what she's selling. Don't buy it. And I wince when the camera turns to her, and we have to put up with one of her wide-eyed utterances that come out of her mouth, as though she's this Southern belle from Augusta. Augusta is known for its golf course. That's it, darling. Not you. And now we have this parking lot party that, as far as I could tell, the attendees were the camera crew, the cast of the show, and about 50 fabulous gay guys. But I love the drone shot. The drone shot going up, showing that, and I think I mentioned this last time, that mishmash of a house that she got that looks like 3 different architectural styles tried to glue together with breezeways. I don't understand what's going on with that house. And then you go from some plantings into this vast parking lot where this party is taking place. And that's another thing, Sutton, you see the profile of Sutton, you see that she doesn't have an ounce of fat on her except for her belly. And that to me has always been an indicator of a boozer. When you see that booze belly, the super skinny people with the booze belly. And speaking of, I think did I say this? No, I didn't mention that. I'm going to mention it about Kathy. I don't think Sutton has an ounce of muscle tone. She certainly doesn't have any in her legs. I don't think she has any in her arms, chest, anywhere. She just looks like flesh kind of hanging on a skeleton hanger. And God, why am I so anti-Sutton tonight? Because I can't. She was very annoying. Okay, speaking of no muscle tone, we go to Kathy. And Kathy, frankly, she's inviting all the ladies to some kind of weekend get-together at some resort, which I'd never heard of, but I'm not from California, so I wouldn't hear of it. And she, similar to Quad in Married to Medicine, is going around delivering the invitations with her assistant, who's this sassy Louboutin wearing high heel assistant. She clearly wants to make a name for herself as far as the some of those outlier people that Beverly Hills has, like Kevin the party planner. She. Well, it looks like Kathy's assistant is looking for her place in that Kevin the party planner pantheon of big players on Beverly Hills. Very good. She rolls around town with Kathy. Kathy is driving. She's business driving, and it's a Rolls. Now, I don't have a Rolls Royce. I'm never going to have a Rolls Royce. Why have a Rolls Royce? I mean, if you're going to have money, have a beautiful chauffeur-driven Mercedes. You don't need a Rolls Royce. Are you King Charles? You're not. You don't need one. But anyway, Kathy is driving around town, propped up by all sorts of floral pillows, delivering invitations, and it's a little scary to see her driving. But so anyway, they go to this place. I don't know where it is. I guess it's somewhere down the California coast. It's called, I think it was called Oceanside, wasn't it? Well, if you asked my opinion, Kathy did everything soup to nuts. She, really does it first class. But I think the resort itself probably had seen better days. It might have been a big, very she place to go in the 60s or 70s. And she insists everybody has their own room, which is great. Nobody gets to argue over rooms. And Kathy does it right. And like I said, the resort may have been grand in its day, but it certainly needs some updating. And then, of course, she has a beach party. And as has been the case in all the beach parties we've seen over the years, it's freezing when the women get out there. However, she has a nice little lunch and she plans all these games for the women, which they all participated in, had a ton of fun, and it was hilarious. We're treated to Dorit telling us how competitive she is, and how she'll do anything to win. And there is a relay race thing that Dorit face plants twice in the sand. I mean, like this, wham! I mean, face plants in the sand. Poor Dorit. So anyway, Kathy, did a great thing. Now let's go on to Dorit, shall we? Okay, we talked about Dorit last week, but I think her anger with Kyle appears so over the top that something else has to have happened behind the scenes that we don't know about, because Dorit is enraged over what? We don't know. The only thing I can see that she might have had her fill of is all the women, including Andy and everybody who spends any time with her, telling her that she just sucks the oxygen out of the room. She's full of hot air. She talks about herself relentlessly and her feelings. And if you don't somehow coddle her and her feelings, this enrages her. She feels that you're treating her terribly unfairly. I don't know what Dorit's personality disorder is. It's not narcissism, although it's all Dorit centric. It's something, and if anybody knows how you would characterize Dorit's personality disorder, put it in the comments. I'm curious to see what anybody's impression is. She's just plain oblivious of how she comes across. That scene in this week's episode where she is trying on earrings in front of Erica Jane, it was cringeworthy. She is over the top in her effusiveness on what she has chosen and why she's. Do you see this? Do you see this? She says to Erica Jane. Now, Erica Jane does her best to, how did I put it here? She indulges Dorit and her imagining that she's part of Amanda Priestley's cerulean discussion. So important. She don't understand. Like the time she told PK when he had her dress up in the Pretty Woman outfit. You don't understand what it takes to do all this. We can imagine. And may I never have to witness it. So anyway, she's completely unaware how off-putting that is. I think she thinks she can. I think she thinks she can trick the audience into thinking she's part of Vanna Wintour's inner circle. Yeah, or she should be in Paris consulting on all these things. I don't know. I sense she's adrift, and now that I think PK has seen this as his opportunity to get out of the marriage, because as much as Dorit can talk and she can talk, she can't talk around PK. PK can box her into a corner and make it all think it's her idea that he's leaving and that they're breaking up. Because I think she drew a line in the sand and he said, no problem, I'll never cross it. And I think he's checked out. He wants out of she's too much. She will suck the life out of you with her constant neediness and her inability to just, as the Brits say, pull her socks up. Um, he is checked out and he's on his way. So again, if anybody knows what that personality disorder may be, I'm really curious to hear what you've got to say. Oh, and her love bombing Boz. She's love bombing Boz. Why is she doing that? Besides the obvious that Boz will actually listen to her. And I'll go into that in a minute as to why I think Boz. Well, I'll just say I think Boz is doing it because she's a new girl, and she wants to make up her own mind about people, and she's listening. But her eyes do kind of glaze over as she listens to this relentless diatribe that comes out of Dorit. Me, and oh, by the way, what do you think about me? Okay, Dorit, we went into him. We talked about him. And now let's go on to Boz. Boz. Okay, Boz is no dope. She went to Wesleyan, which is one of the seven sisters, the Ivy seven sisters. I think it's Yale's seven sister. And she did a 5-year stint with Spike Lee's ad agency. Then she did 8 years with PepsiCo, doing music brand campaigns. Like she would be part of the coordination efforts for the Super Bowl halftime show. She then went on to Dr. Dre's Beats, which was famously sold, I think, to billions to Apple. She went over to Apple when that sale happened. She stayed there for 2 years, but I got a sense a little bit that I've read that she may have had a tough fit with Apple. Apple, I'm sure, is a particular culture. And what they value compared to other corporations might be very different than what she's used to. So she then moved on to, these were all in big high-level marketing positions. She went on to Uber, Endeavor, and then Netflix. And now she's looks like she's out of retired from corporate life. Good for her, smart girl. Curious to see where else she lands. And we're going to have one more little thing here about Erika Jayne. If we didn't already know that Erika Jayne was an actress, we might even believe she's a nice person now. But she's not. She's a sociopath. What she's learned is how to act like a nice person. So, God, when you saw her lusting after those cheese, you know how ridiculous these women are with money. When you see that stupid ass Louis Vuitton boat bag that Jennifer Tilly walked into, and Erika lusts after it, what are you going to do with that piece of crap? I mean, it's ridiculous. It has no function. It just has that stupid Louis Vuitton logo on it, and you think it's great. Well, anywho, that's all I have for today. I did have a little odd and end, but I can't see where it is. And I'm going to do Salt Lake, so maybe I'll do it at the end of Salt Lake. I want to thank you all for joining me for my mid-season recap on Beverly Hills. I so enjoy you tuning in. And if you like this song, like I said, please hit that subscribe button. Send me some comments. Tell me what you think of what Dorit's problem is. And I will look forward to seeing you guys next time. Thank you so much.